Hello Reds, welcome along to All for United.
I tell you what, I love that intro because the music is fantastic. The everyone looks great, but then every single time it gets to me, it's me fucking brokenhearted by Thierry Henry and Cardiff showing that to my face, and every time I get that, I'm like, ye bastards. But speaking of bastards, we have a game tomorrow night. As we did before, poor Jeff. Sorry, Jeff just put into the group chat. The only thing I hate about the intro is that I'm not in it. Can we all just give a big in the comments? Anyone watching? Just like Callum's crying.
I need a hug, guys. I need a hug.
Yeah, but of course we are playing the Scum tomorrow. We will touch upon a few things that have been stupidly reported in the media by certain Manchester City legends, and by legends I mean shockingly went to a World Cup in 2002 when he was playing for West Ham, and aside from that retired at a former football club that turned into a corporation. We're going to be discussing stuff that's coming out from that, and but also like we did last week, we're rinsing and repeating. We're not here to talk about tactics. We're not here to talk about insights into the game coming up tomorrow. We're in the Champions League. We're fine. We got a final coming up. We're fine. We're here to laugh at Liverpool. There is nothing more, nothing less that's going to happen. Ben, you were here last week. Jeff, you were last week. Shu, were you here last time? No, you weren't. Just how? Was that what that was?
I think I was here last time, yeah.
You were here. Yeah. But we can cover the same ground again. We are just going to spend this time laughing at Liverpool because we got extra stuff to laugh at. The fact the greatest team in Premier League history are upset because they had to rely on Man United, the shit Man United they call us, to get into the Champions League. And they're upset that we decided to fuck them over. I do it again. So we're going to go straight into it, and we have wonderful people here. Ugly Bear, thanks so much for joining us again. Not on topic, but sorry. We'll be there. Will there be any Glazer out protests tomorrow? I think 2 more serious protests, and who knows what might happen in case Stone is gone. Yes, absolutely. That's a fucking disaster as well. I know the guys covered that a lot earlier on today. Wasn't backed, and now she walked. Ollie won't be backed. We'll talk about that. I think he will be. But I'm just going to go to Ben, Callum. Do you know if there's anything happening tomorrow or the insights with the protests?
I've heard little inklings something's going to happen, but to be honest, in comparison to the last protest, I haven't heard anything anywhere near as much. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I'll keep an eye out tomorrow, but I've not heard anything, to be honest. I don't know if Ben has. Ben, have you heard anything?
I know it's pretty much done, mate. To be fair, I think they're planning. Definitely something's getting planned, but I think they're keeping it close to the chest because obviously of the bigger police presence and whatever. You know what I mean? But I think definitely something's happening, and
are you planning to go down?
United are trying to keep us guessing where the team's staying and everything as well. So I think they're trying to switch it up. But I think that there is people out there that are working behind the scenes quietly. And I think you'll find out more tomorrow, I think, on the day, more than sort of pre-planned. So I think they're trying to keep it off Twitter so United keeps United guessing as well, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. But I definitely know there's definitely something in the works by a couple of big organisations within the Manchester United supporters groups.
Cool. Okay.
Are you
go ahead, Callum.
Are you planning to go if anything's happening?
I'm going to Old Trafford. I'm going to Old Trafford. I know that they're saying it's 6 o'clock at usual place again, but I think, as in terms of the other stuff, I think like trying to maybe stop the team bus or whatever it may be, whatever they've got planned, that's happening behind the scenes with maybe some more of your like hardcore fan groups, you know, that are not so not like your musts or anything, but these people that turned up at the training ground unannounced that time. Is these sorts of people, the Manchester United Education or the Manchester Education Committee. It'll probably be people like that are planning things behind the scenes that we probably won't know until like when you're there. You know, we see, oh, this has happened. You know, so I think they're trying to play it close to the chest again to keep everybody guessing. So, but I definitely know they are trying to
something in the works,
make something happen.
But that's the serious stuff done. Okay, talk for tomorrow. Thanks so much, Ben. Thanks so much, Callum, for your insights on that. But now we're here to laugh at Liverpool. Okay,
please. Yes, please.
That's what the next hour or so is going to be dedicated to. It. I think we'll touch on Casey Stoney, but that was covered earlier on again by the guys. A lot more insight than we can give because they're very much in with the women's team. But we have thoughts on that as well. But I'm going to switch things around because I'm going to start with people who weren't here last week. So. Switch Connor there. I'll put Ahmed here.
Hey,
there we go. Yeah.
I didn't expect that from you, Stu. Come on.
I know. I was going to say Ben's got your first shirt behind him as well. That's what I was giggling at.
Oh, he does. I thought you.
We got sorry lads. Just before we got a wonderful comment in from the wonderful Jamie, who is a frequent collaborator here on the show. Go on, lads, watching for my night shift. Thanks, Jamie. Mind check out Joe's excellent short films. Yes, do that. Oh my God, I didn't notice he said that. That is such a shock to me. I can't believe he said that. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Is he related?
Well, yeah, we're related through being Celtic. Okay, I'll take it. Thanks so much, Jamie, and check out Jamie's podcast. Just get a Real Job podcast. It's absolutely brilliant with you guys. So make sure to check that out. Anyway, Connor, what is your favorite part of Liverpool season so far? Okay. And by favorite, I mean, when did you laugh hardest? Was it the outcry from Virgil van Dijk's injury? Was it the many times VAR messed them around? Or was it just the 6th time they lost in a row at home? The undefeated, what was it? 50 games they went undefeated, being the best team ever, and then lost 6 in a row. So any one of them, what was your favourite? Or one I haven't even mentioned.
It's got to be the home, when they lost the home record, because of all the teams they played, and I think it was Burnley, right, that they lost it to. Of all the teams that it could have been, it was a proper shithousery performance from Sean Dyche's Burnley that took it away, which is brilliant. And like you just said, they went on that 6th game or whatever it was. I think it was 5 at home, where they didn't even score at Anfield, let alone win. Didn't even pick up like a 0-0 draw or anything. They just or 1-1 draw, I should say. So, yeah, that's definitely up there because, like I just said, of all the teams, it could have been City, United, Chelsea, whatever. It was Sean Dyche's Burnley. So yeah, that was definitely up there. And it's a close second with what happened yesterday with all Liverpool fans crying and moaning at us. So yeah, that'll be a close second.
Oh, that I just love that so much. I love Scouser tears. Love it. Ahmed, first time on, whether with Wall of Reds preview, whatever it is. Oh, Hammer, sorry, I have missed a couple of your comments, but this is my favorite one you put in. By the way, if things going well, I could potentially be back available to come on the show this weekend. That'd be amazing, Hammer. We have been missing you, so that'd be fantastic. Stuart, thanks so much for being in the comments again. Always great to have you there. Fred, thanks so much for joining us. Ollie has brought back the hate from other fan bases. You would love to see it. That, along with Scousers crying, is just brilliant to see. It is fucking brilliant to see. And Anthony Wilson, I don't remember seeing you in the comments before. Thanks for joining us, Anthony. Then they lost to Brighton and Fulham. So for you, Ahmed, what is your favourite moment from Liverpool season? And you're muted.
You need to stop treating it like it's a dictatorship, Joe. I might not be able to get out of prison afterwards. To be honest with you, it feels like I'm in prison right now. No, my favourite thing about this season was probably, it has to be when they lost, as Connor said, to Burnley. But it's just then the sheer consistency of them continuing to lose at home in the Premier League. Another funny thing was the way they went down in the Champions League as well. The comical defending against Real Madrid. That was, for me, the worst performance by an English team in a European quarter-final for a long time. Even we made a respectable performance against Real Madrid. But to see Alexander-Arnold twice get stunned by Vinicius Gigi Wijnaldum standing on the, like literally on the penalty area, like his controller's dead. And then the ball's coming right across him. And all he does is move just like 0.001 meters across before Vinicius puts in the net. I laughed my head off that night. But yeah, them getting outside the Champions League was hilarious. And knowing that it's in our hands tomorrow to do it to them, even though Chelsea are bottling it for themselves, knowing that we can tomorrow do it and end their hopes of being in Champions League team, there's a certain feeling human beings have where you just know it's gonna feel good later. That's all I can say right now.
Oh, I love it. And also, I think one of my favorite things has been the fact that they won the Premier League. They won the top title, let's say, for the first time in 30 years.
Worst defense ever.
Yeah, well, the fact that they never got to play as champions in front of fans, for the fact they never got a parade, for the fact that the next time they play in front of fans, Man City will be champions. So, like, I just love every part of that. Every part of that is brilliant. John Commode. Yeah. Funniest moment was when they beat Everton in the final minute at Goodison Park, and when the goal was ruled out as Manny's song was slightly offside. Is that? I don't get that.
I think he means his toe.
No, it's arm, not song. I thought either one. And Stu, just with the bad news that Chelsea lost, I know it doesn't really affect us, but just gives us extra incentive to do Liverpool tomorrow. And we don't need extra incentive anyway. It's always great to beat them. So Ben, for you, remind us what. Oh, sorry, Stuart there with the 7-2 defeat to Villa for me. Absolutely, the world's great defender got shown up, and he was playing. He was fully fit. And the same day we lost 6-1 to Spurs. Yeah, it was that they played after us. Ben, for yourself, what was your one, if you can remember, that we had last week when we were prepping for the game that never happened? And also, what are your thoughts from their outcries last night on us?
Do you know what? I can't remember what I said last week, but then Stuart stole my thunder on that 7-2 because I was going to bring up that they had the world's greatest defender playing that day as well. But for me, mate, I think it's their fans that genuinely believed, and all the media that genuinely believed that this was the greatest Premier League side of all time after winning one fucking league title. I thought that was hilarious, mate. Everyone jumping on the bandwagon now. Now look, this season just showing how bang average that side really is. To be fair, that they're nothing special. They're not like them knocked down Stockport. You know that I've got a decentish side. You know, it's just shit. You know, Klopp. To be fair, everyone was like, "Oh, he's better than Fergie." Klopp, he's this and he's that. Fucking got found out this season, an absolute fraud, isn't he? He blames everything but himself, you know. If it's the weather, if it's the pitch, if it's fucking a little bit of wind that's blowing a fucking force one gale in his face. I don't know, mate. They're all laughable out there. Just always cutting all sorts of excuses and all this rubbish about fucking. We've degraded the competition. We shouldn't be feeling a weakened side. We should be docked points. How the mighty great Liverpool have fallen, that they've got to rely on their greatest rivals to get Champions League football. That's the most laughable thing. And
absolutely.
you know, end of the day, mate, you know, all his ABU accounts on TalkSport and all that bollocks can keep on griping. But it's the reason why you have a squad of players that are registered to be able to play in the Premier League, is that you can be able to use that squad of players. Funny how nobody could play when City did it, but City can do it because they've got a great squad and blah, 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 and all this bollocks. Well, we've not exactly put out a side full of reserves, have we? We still have Mata, we still have Matic, we still have David De Gea, we still have Eric Bailly, we still have, all these great players with international football experience, you know. They're not exactly one-cat wonders either, you know. So that argument don't wash with me. They're just clutching at straws, and it's just laughable, mate. You know, At the end of the day, Liverpool are just fucking being found out as absolute frauds, pal.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I love to see it. If someone get in the comments, John or Stuart or Ugly Bear, would you mind just putting in the race for top four, just the points difference, if you wouldn't mind? I'm just curious. I don't have it on top of my head. But Callum, coming to you. I know you put in the group chat earlier on that you want to discuss the bullshittery that has been going on TalkSport. I'll be even shocked to hear that. But what are your thoughts, first of all, on I'm on the bit now. What that? Sorry. Thanks, Joe. Hope you're well. I'm on the bit on. Is that? Oh, sorry. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Sorry, that just confused me a bit. But Callum, so if you can start with your favorite Liverpool moment of the season, and then give your thoughts on, like is being said here, lads, it's talk sport, but you can give your thoughts on the bullshit that has been sprayed there. You're muted. And you're muted!
That's probably you muting me that and me not noticing.
It was.
My favourite moment, and I want to make it very clear, it is not the injury. That was my favourite moment. Before Liverpool fans see it and say that I'm laughing at an injury. My favourite moment was the reaction of Liverpool fans after Virgil van Dijk got injured. The death threats to Jordan Pickford. These classic fans that always preach the moral high ground, yet are happy to death threat their own goalkeeper and other teams' goalkeepers, and acting like Virgil van Dijk had literally been murdered and were planning funerals. I'm surprised he didn't come out and wear T-shirts like they did for Luis Suarez. So the 7-2 loss, brilliant. I mean, obviously it was a really poor day for United, that as well. And we had certain YouTubers laughing at us. Definitely not an Irish folk called Craig, by the way. That was brilliant. And then they went and pumped in 7 goals against them whilst the best defender in the world was playing. I will happily admit Virgil van Dijk is the best defender in the world. You've also got the hypocrisy of the fans, the sheer injuries and the excuses that Klopp's used. Yet Leicester had even more injuries, yet managed to keep themselves in the top 4, and nobody ended up making excuses for them. TalkSport didn't make a single excuse for them, yet we're hearing, oh, well, Man United made 10 changes. Well, there's a reason why you have 25-man squads. City made 9 changes against Chelsea. No one said that. And their excuses, well, it's full of experienced pros. Like Ben's just said, Nemanja Matic has won a Premier League. Juan Mata, he's won the Champions League. In fact, I think he's won the World Cup. He scored in the Euros final for Spain. These aren't not experienced pros. It's just simple clickbait nonsense and excuses just to keep Man United's name in their mouths so they can get more views on social media. It's lazy punditry. And you've got the likes of what's his name? Trevor Francis, did you say? Is that him?
Trevor Sinclair.
Sinclair, that's his name. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trevor Sinclair. You've got him saying that there should be dot points. Well, it's he didn't say that when Liverpool field their entire reserve team. He didn't say that, did he? Oh well, they had to go and play in another competition. Well, Man United had a bigger issue called a protest against the owners sucking money out of the club and riddling the club with debt for the past 16 years. It's funny how they never had any sympathy for that. Yet we owe Liverpool something. What our biggest and most hated rivals, we owe them something. Did Steven Gerrard owe us anything when he clearly did a very obvious back pass to Didier Drogba to hand Chelsea the league? Did he owe us anything then? No, we didn't. We play, and let's face it, United weren't that bad on Tuesday night. If anything, it was a couple of defensive errors that made us lose that game. I missed it, so I had to watch the highlights. But from what I'm seeing and the consensus of it, we didn't play that bad at all, considering the team we had to put out. And from what I watched of the game, the last half an hour, a draw wouldn't have been the worst result. So this idea that we owe people and we owe teams and as excuses, and Ollie has to owes Liverpool. Well, dropping points to Burnley, Brighton, West Ham, and all these other teams, is that not what cost you the top 4, or is it Ole Gunnar Solskjaer resting a load of players because we had a game postponed for safety fears because we were protesting against an ownership that is sucking money out of our club and an absolute leech and damn right disgrace to the game of English football? There was no excuses then. It's absolute garbage journalism and lazy punditry that we forever seem to see on TalkSport, beIN Sport, whoever these people work for. And when you've got the likes of Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, Roy Keane coming out and defending this, you can clearly see who has a sympathy for the fans and who is just a bitter, lazy journalist, lazy punditry person who gets paid on TV for spouting utter nonsense.
Fucking dry mic drop there. Jesus Christ. That was intense and wonderful, Callum. Thanks for talking sense as usual. And going from talking sense to talking nonsense.
Well.
You know what? These transitions are so smooth. I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah. Connor's just like, oh, baby, that's getting clipped. Stu, first of all, if you can remember what your favorite moment of Liverpool season was, this season, obviously, and what are your thoughts from their reaction? And especially from the pundits as well, saying that we should be docked points.
Yeah, so my favourite moment of Liverpool season has been the whole season because they've been a bunch of clowns right from the start to where they are today.
All right, Stu, that's your club, all right?
Well, of course, that's right, yeah. But, I mean, you have to bear in mind, lads, I grew up in the 70s and the 80s where Liverpool were the dominant side. And we grew up with ridicule and things of that nature. And earlier on in the season, when we got battered 6-1 by Spurs, all my mates got a lot of Liverpool fans as friends because the age that we grew up in were absolutely on Twitter, on text, just ridiculing me. And then, of course, brilliant when Villa went and spanked them 7-2. So thanks for that, Stu O'Hara, because that was one of my favourite moments. So really, when you look back in terms of a team that's defended the league title, it's been the worst in history. So the whole aspect of Liverpool this year has been an absolute comedy show, and you just love to see it. With regards to pundits, obviously I work in the media anyway, so I have a lot of background. I know exactly how these things work. Adrian Durham was at it again tonight. Trevor Sinclair was at it. What bothers me about it is so-called pundits, so-called ex-players who've played at the so-called highest level can't or won't accept the predicament that the club's in, irrespective of why we're in this predicament, the predicament the club is in. And it's not possible to have the schedule that we've had over the 7-day period and play a full-strength side. And the other thing is, I've always said this right through football, you have a squad of players for a reason. And that reason is to pick 11 players out of a squad of 23, 24, 25. And Manchester United as a club are well within their rights to pick any one of those players within that squad. And you can't say, as Callum said, you can't say that we put a second string out because we've got internationals on that pitch. You know, we've got excellent footballers on that pitch. And really, it was a couple of stupid errors. We could have maybe got a draw out of it. I know we were overrun in the middle. Me and Connor discussed it last night. We were overrun in the middle, but ultimately we could have got a result. So when you listen to somebody like Trevor Sinclair, who I've never had any time for anyway, I didn't think he was a good player, and I think he's an even worse pundit. Michael Owen, or anyone that comes out and demands us to be docked points, it's just, I don't know what it is actually. It's not even sour grapes. It's not being churlish. It's just being pathetic. I just can't understand the reasoning behind it. With regards to clickbait and stuff like that. I know
exactly what it is, Stu.
Yeah, well, just regards to clickbait, by the way, it is just clickbait. Everybody does it, and it's just how it is in today's day and age. And so with social media, before ex-players, they didn't have a voice. They couldn't engage if they wanted to engage with fans. The clubs couldn't engage properly with fans. But now social media just gives everybody a platform. And there's unfortunately too many clowns on Twitter, on YouTube, who think they understand football when they don't. And they also think by being controversial, the more fans will engage with it. And for me, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Does anyone actually? Oh, who did we lose? Who died?
Nobody.
No, we're definitely missing someone.
Oh,
very good. That's everyone.
Oh my god, great. Okay, never mind.
What have you been smoking?
Nothing yet. Hammer's got all my stuff. There was definitely some. I rearranged it. Never mind. Is there anyone?
I really thought someone was missing then, Joe.
Yeah.
I think I'm off my head as well.
Yeah. So put up your hand if you're not here. Can someone in the comments tell us who we lost, please?
You're seeing things, Joe.
I think you're doing things, Joe. Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind here. But does anyone have a Liverpool, like a pundit that's an ex-Liverpool player that you actually like?
Carragher's not done too bad, though, has he, really? Over the last couple of weeks.
To be honest, I don't like many pundits at all, really. To me, a pundit or an ex-player goes into punditry because they don't want to coach. They don't want to have they don't want the stress of a job. Look, any one of us can go on to Sky Sports, TalkSport, and talk about football because it's something that you love, you enjoy. It's something you live day by day. It's something you can't wait to go down to the pub and watch it with your mates, or you can't wait to have a game, or you look forward to talking to your son about it and things like this. And then we can talk fucking football. These pundits that do it, the likes of Trevor Sinclair, he's too dumb to be a coach. Hasn't got what it takes. It's too much like hard work for him. It's the same with Michael Owen. Great player that he was at, in his youth, but it's just too much hard work. Chris Sutton, not a great player. They just roll out of football and into punditry. It just winds me up, it does. I don't think there's anyone decent out there. I think Gary Neville's okay, Jimmy Carragher's okay, but they have their moments as well of being absolute clowns, the pair of them. Yeah. So
I think the issue with that, the issue with that though is, what, you're not going to agree with every single thing they said, but in terms of, they can say things that are a little silly sometimes, but out of a pick of a bad bunch, they are probably the best. And the thing is, you sort of hit the nail on the head. It's quite funny, really. Trevor Sinclair is too dumb. Michael Owen is too dumb. Alan Shearer and Jermaine Genius, I just don't understand. I can't understand how he genuinely goes about speaking football for a living at the minute. Us fans here, we sit and speak on YouTube, or we'll sit in a pub and speak, or whatever. But we do it just because we love it. And I'm not doubting that these ex-footballers love it and things like that, obviously. But these people get paid a serious amount of money to give these opinions, and you do genuinely think this is like, if I went into work tomorrow morning without any inkling of knowing what I'm doing, I'd lose my job fairly quickly. Now, these people who do spout all this crap on TalkSport or on BBC or whatever, you just think they'd do a little bit of research before they went on and spoke. You know what I mean? You've got the likes of Graham Souness coming out and saying, oh, well, they didn't like all this when they weren't doing this when they were winning. Well, they were. Green and gold campaign straight away, because Ronaldo got sold and all that money all of a sudden disappeared. There's another thing, he goes on, well, oh, what about City's owner? We've compared spending with them. Well, no, we have in a way, but City's owner has pumped that money into the club. The Glazers have leveraged our club and used the club's money to spend these players whilst taking out dividends and financial loans and business loans and blah, blah, blah to finance this. They haven't put any of their money in. It's just the wider picture that these pundits don't seem to grasp. And the thing is, it's like when you've got Jamie, and like you say, Jamie Carragher has his moments, but when you've got a Scouser, a man that was seriously hated during his time at Liverpool, sticking up for Man United fans and sticking up for the greater good of our club, there's something wrong. And it seems to continuously happen that more and more pundits and more journalists or so-called journalists are coming out and saying, oh, well, there should be dot points or this and that. And it's like, just do a little bit of research. It's not hard to just do a quick Google search on. Darren Goff did a whole bit on it a couple of years ago about the amount of money the Glazer family's taken out of our club. He was sat opposite him today or whenever it was. Just do a little bit of it. It's a Google search away to see how much money the Glazers have taken out. It's a Google search away at why that game wasn't played last week. Yeah. It's a Google search away about why Man United had to. We have a squad of 25 players. Why is it okay when City do it? Or why is it okay when Chelsea do it? Is it because these pundits deem their backup players better than ours? Well, if you go back to it, their backup players are better than ours because they have owners and football men in charge of their club who have done their due diligence to have these players in the background so that if an injury happens or a rest happens, that they've got the players to slot in. Man United don't have that because of the lack of football knowledge and the lack of football men who haven't been at the club in the past 10 years. Now, if we had that, I don't doubt for a second that they probably would have still gone on about this. But it's ridiculous to say that it's okay that Chelsea and Liverpool and City can do it because their players are better than ours or they're more experienced pros. It's not even lack of research. It's just sheer wrong and incorrect. And I don't understand how these people are still allowed to say it. The only thing I can think of is the TalkSport is part of a newspaper called The Sun, who we all know are not famed for speaking the truth.
No,
And
exactly.
as long as they say something that gets clicks, that's all they're bothered about. And unfortunately, in the last 10, 15 years, and the Manchester Evening News is incredibly guilty of this, but in the last 10, 15 years, journalism has completely, football journalism in particular, has completely died in this country. And for some reason, we're allowing it to happen because on social media now, everyone's got a voice. And journalism, journalists or famous journalists, and the so-called big TV companies like Sky and BBC and radio stations like TalkSport don't like YouTube channels and the fact that so many fans now have a voice and that it can't be contained within this media bubble anymore, and they do not like it.
But the issue we've got there as well, don't forget, you get paid now.
Stu, I don't want to interrupt, but I just need to take a second. That was fucking amazing. Callum, you were on fucking fire tonight. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just needed, I don't like interrupting anyone, Stu. I'm sorry, but you've had two incredibly on point flows, so great job. Sorry,
I was just making a point that clickbait is down to money. This is the issue with YouTube. This is the issue with Instagram. It's the issue with Facebook. It's all about money. The more followers, the more controversial, the more kind of clicks you get, it gets you paid. And this is the problem with it. And this is why journalists, in fact, when you look at lockdown as a whole, you were looking at the types of people that tweet in, the types of people that were saying, stand your teammates apart. There are all these so-called celebrities trying to remain current. And this is all journalists do. I know about it because I have to do it in my day job. You have to remain current. You have to make sure that you're getting pairs of eyes all the time, or pairs of ears listening to your station, or watching your video, or reading what you write. And this is the issue with it. And the only way they can do it is to be controversial. The problem is the likes of TalkSport, the likes of Sky Sports, they're not strong enough to reprimand these people. They're not strong enough to take them to task. They won't allow fans on like us to go up and have a go at Trevor Sinclair and try and put our viewpoints across. They won't allow it. Alan Brazil's been made a career out of it for years, absolute years, and he's he just doesn't talk sense half the time. So sorry, Jeff. It's
We're going to we're going to keep going because this is turning into the Callum and Stewart show. And although this will probably it'll turn into a spin-off one day, which I think will get more viewers than any other channel we have. But we got to keep this moving. So we're going to touch on something I posted on Twitter about 10 minutes ago. And we're going to get to it now. But anytime we'll make it happen with you guys. But so back to this actual particular game. It was my fault for going on a tangent. What is your favorite goal scored in a Man United Liverpool match? Obviously scored by United. We're not going to give them any praise that they need. Jeff, we're going with you first. Of all time for a lot of us is maybe 20 years. For a certain Stewart, it's mid 18th century. So Jeff, we'll go to you first. And although someone, I think was John, posted, we're still the same man that was here. I think we all just got moved around or something. I don't know what happened.
Can I make a point? Can you not say, nobody can say the one matter volley at Anfield because everyone's going to pick that.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Nobody can say that.
We'll say, yes, no one can say that. That's off the table. And guys in the comments as well, get your thoughts in. What is your favorite goal? And try go as obscure as possible, okay? I'll go to you, Jeff.
Yeah. First off, I'm going to say how I guess I'm lucky that I don't get that halftime punditry that everyone's talking about, because the streams here don't have that kind of punditry. But anyway, my favorite Liverpool goal would be the John O'Shea winner. I forgot what year that was. Like anything John O'Shea, I like the Arsenal goal, the Liverpool goal, the time he played goalkeeper. anything John O'Shea, I love him, man. So
why are you stealing my? I'm the John O'Shea fan. I'm from his country. We're
I love
pros.
your Tootie, man. Guy.
What the hell?
It's terrible. He hasn't even mentioned the fact that he nutmegged to his Figo.
As well.
How has he overlooked that? I can't believe it.
No, we're talking about goals, you know. But yeah, that goalkeeper one. But yeah, that nutmeg is something like what? He can do that, but you know, I love John O'Shea, man. So that's my favorite goal.
Okay, fine. All right, that kind of completely robbed mine. What's it? We got a couple of comments in. John, favorite goal ever was against Liverpool. Yeah, just said. John, great shout. Berbatov overhead, unbelievable. Candidate FA Cup final, yes. Berbatov overhead again with Garrett. What's one more? Fred, Martial's debut was class and was all downhill from there. Connor, for yourself, what is your? Sorry, I tried to make Callum shake his head at least once a video.
Has Maguire scored against Liverpool yet?
Oh, stop it!
He was Leicester, I think. He was with Leicester, then I think he scored.
This Maguire will.
Yes, Connor, for yourself, what is your favorite goal?
There's a couple. Rashford's goal a couple of years ago when he sat down Alexander-Arnold was quite good. Raphael, his goal at Anfield. That was a banger as well. I was going to say Juan Mata's one, but I can't now, can I? So I think I'm going to go Rio Ferdinand's one at Old Trafford. I think it was 05-06.
You fucking bastard! That was my second one I was going for.
That was mine.
For the love of God, I travelled over all day to get to that game, and Liverpool absolutely trounced us. Like Cisse missed an open goal, and then Ferdinand in the last second scored it, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And you went to rob it from me, Connor.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be that one. I was gonna say John O'Shea or Juan Mata, but Jeff said John O'Shea. Stu said don't say Juan Mata, so yeah, the Ferdinand 05-06.
Bastard. Okay, let me think of a next one so Amma can rob that on me.
Oh boy,
okay,
there's a few. There's a few.
Okay, I got one, and you better not rob it on me, all right?
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm thinking back to.
Don't go think back. That's where my one is. Don't think back.
Just stop. I can't think. I need to actually seriously. I've been alive for 26 years. I'm trying my best not to miss a moment where I think I missed. Where I think I've not seen a goal or a goal I may have overlooked. But one that I found to be like one of my favorite United goals against Liverpool, Paul Scholes in '98, the bender into the top corner, which made it 2-1. That was during our treble season. I think that helped us move back into second place that season, and we'd go on to keep going, winning all the way to the end of the season to win the treble. So Paul Scholes for me because he's an absolute baller. If I wanted to pick another one though, I wouldn't rule out Nani's banger from 2008 from about the edge of the area. And he's lashed it into the bottom corner past a hapless Reina and does the multiple somersault celebration afterwards. Top goals, those ones. Fantastic. Solskjaer too. Someone in the comments. That one in the semi-court in the FA Cup. Can't miss that one either.
Right, you said one. You're picking all mine, are you?
Yeah, you literally, I had in my head, okay, I was like, I'm going to pick 99. I said, I was actually thinking the Scholes one, but then I was like, I'll go with Solskjaer. That one's safe. He's not going to say that one. And then he had to say at the end, Mother of God, okay? Thanks, Ahmed. Ben.
Here to steal your goals, everybody. VAR can't stop you.
Life goals and real goals. Ben, for you, go as obscure. Yeah. Go as obscure as possible, okay?
Going back down to December of 2002 and Diego Forlan's brace, mate. It's Liverpool at Anfield. Name me a better brace of goals at Anfield ever scored by a Manchester United player that made the Scousers cry. I'm surprised no one mentioned that one first, you know. I thought everyone was going to jump and go Diego Forlan, but that was
again, but we have another Uruguayan megastar with us today, so who knows? He could do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Diego Forlan for me, that brace at Anfield, pal. Good old Jersey dude. Nick was having a right bit of a
What's the sun?
What's the sun? Oh, but yeah, that'd be mine. And so I said Carragher's brace of own goals, which that's a good one there, boys.
Yeah, that actually is a great shout. I guarantee Callum's crying now because it's saying he's got the dregs. He's got the dregs. Because you remember one of my few moments I liked under Mourinho was we won at Sunderland, I think it was. Sunderland. And all the away fans were singing the Diego Forlan chant, and he couldn't. He was like, "Why are they singing about Diego Forlan?" And then Carrick went in his ears like, "Oh, he scored against Liverpool too." It's like, "Oh, okay." Great moment, fan favorite. Callum, for you, I think you've got maybe 2 or 3 goals left.
Yeah, in entire history, I can't think of any, to be honest. I don't even care that they've been said already. So my one was Rio Ferdinand's one. Mainly for the reason that obviously it won us the game, but it epitomised what every single Man United fan would have done if they scored against Liverpool by making Gary Neville go right up to the Scousers and grab the United badge and basically say, "Fuck you, we're going to win." And my other one was the Solskjaer one in '99. Without that goal, there'd have been no treble. Yeah. Obviously, we were 1-0 down. Dwight York scored, and then Solskjaer scored the second goal to win us the game. Which is quite fun because he scored that, which led us on the path to the treble, which he finished off nicely in the final minute in Barcelona. So they're my favourite ones. And the Berbatov overhead kick, because I remember he was a little bit written off, wasn't he, at Man United at one stage, and that season he just came alive for us. So they'd be my picks.
Great shout. John Cremona is back with the trio 94. Giggs' chip and Irwin's free kick, honourable mention. Hughes' lob in 92 and helped us to 2-0 draw from 2-0 down. Great moments. Stu, I want your favourite one, but I want your favourite one, okay, from pre-Premier League era, okay?
Well, it's the Hughes lob. Was
that pre the Premier League?
Yeah, it was.
92 it was. Yeah,
it was. It's the Hughes lob. The skill involved in that was phenomenal because Grobbelaar was at, I think he's probably the best goalkeeper in the league, Division 1 at that point in time. He was absolute. It was such a good. The whole game was such a good game. We're having the Stretford End refurbished. I don't know if Benny, you remember that. We're having the Stretford End refurbished at the time, and we were 2-0 down. It was pretty bad because fucking Don Hutchinson scored against us, which is always bad. And Liverpool were playing in the green kit. With the white stripes over the shoulder, and we were really struggling in the game, and the lob came out of nowhere, but the composure that Hughes had to put it over Grobbelaar was superb. Then he popped in with the second, a diving header right in injury time, gave us the draw to make it 2-apiece. So yeah, then 1988, Gordon Strachan away, popped one in 3-3. That was the one where he walked up to the cop and kissed it. To the cop. That was a good goal. The Giggsy goal in the 3-3 93-94 season, which I don't know if you guys recall, Dennis Irwin scored a wonderful free kick on that one. A wonderful free kick actually. Nobody in the area. Grobbelaar had no chance. It was postage stamp. But interestingly enough, that was picked as one of the games where Grobbelaar threw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but absolutely no chance. The Giggs and the I think Steve Bruce. I could be wrong. Somebody in the comments, John, was it Steve Bruce got our second or our opener in that one? I could be wrong on that, but I think it was Bruce. We're playing in the black kit anyway. But those are my favourite. The Hughes one in particular, Joe. If you've not seen it, it's phenomenal lob. The skilled technique and the just the right amount of power on it just to get it over Grobbelaar was phenomenal. It was brilliant. He looked over his shoulder actually as the ball was coming, and as the ball was coming in the air, he kind of turned his head and it dropped and he just pinged it over Bruce. It was a wonderful strike. Wonderful strike.
It was Bruce with the opener. John just came in.
It was. I thought it was. But honestly, if you've not seen that, I'm sure you all have. But if you haven't, just look at where he was looking and then bang. There's a great bit of commentary as well from Andy Gray.
I have this. Yeah, I much prefer. I know Andy Gray and Richard Keys scumbags, absolutely. Yeah, but I love when it's like the real whatever Premiership years or whatever, and you're watching it and it's like they're doing the commentary because there's just so much more iconic moments. It's the same with Martin Tyler, you know. Yeah,
he goes something like he takes a little look, there it is, and the look was like that literally, and then he describes it. It was a wonderful goal. Wonderful goal.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite ones because just the way he put it away.
Cool. So we're coming to the end now. Jeff, we're going to go to you first. What are we going to beat Liverpool by tomorrow? Who's going to score? And I want you to laugh at Liverpool one last time. This is for everyone, okay? At the same time.
Well, there's a part of me that thinks that won't push through, but let's see with all that's planning for tomorrow. So I think we can trash them like 3-0, 3-1. And
yes.
Maybe Cavani starts this time around. Give Mason a rest. So definitely, I'll give one to Pogba and maybe one each, and also to Bruno. So 3-0, 3-1 at the worst. But that will be my prediction tomorrow because they can't do any better than where they are now. So,
Daddy, now laugh at them one last time.
You've got to say your favourite goal, Jeff.
No, I said the John O'Shea one.
His first one, yeah.
Oh, was
I
it
stole it right under Ghost Nose. So
Stu, you just interrupted his laugh. Laugh at him again, please. That's a great evil laugh. Connor, coming to you now. What are we going to beat them by? Who's going to score? And give a laugh at Liverpool. Everyone laugh in the comments as well, please.
I think 2-0. I think we've got enough to beat him. We should have beaten them at Anfield, really. I think with Pogba back in, Fernandes back in, Cavani, Rashford, all those players will be starting tomorrow. So 2-0. And I'll just end by saying Glazers out and Liverpool. I hope you enjoy the Conference League.
First champions. You're going to celebrate being the first champions of that crap.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, can we get people thank you, John. Everyone laugh in the comments. I want to see nothing but laughs in the comments, please. John, you're winning so far. And we're all jealous of Jeff's Old Trafford behind him. It's super cool. Keep the get back. Well, sorry, yeah. Thank you so much, Rommel. Everyone, please laugh in the comments. Ahmed, for you, what are we going to beat them by? Who's going to score and laugh at them?
Oh my God! Quick slander, by the way. How has Stu forgotten the 77 FA Cup final? That's gone over my head. 85 as well, semi-final. Green, Hughes, Robson, all those goals. How they've gone over our heads, I'm surprised. But
just quickly, I was only 7 then. My first FA Cup final was 79.
Well, Ahmed wasn't born, okay?
Yeah.
So
No, but I do read up on history, gentlemen. It's a job as a commentator to read up on your history. Most important thing. Now, first, I'll laugh at Liverpool. Take that. Defense is crap. We'll fucking get you next season. All right, that's the first one. You can only hear me swear once, gentlemen. Secondly, we'll win by 2-0. I feel like Cavani will continue his scoring run, and at least we'll go through the game, I hope, with a few edgy bits. They'll try and get back into it. They'll put a few forward to create a few chances. Hendo might have a clean sheet tomorrow, so I think if he'll do the world of good if he does. And then the second will be probably a Fernandes penalty, so just to take the piss. So Liverpool, enjoy the Conference League. We'll be having fun up in the big leagues up at Paris, Barca, Italy. I don't know yet. Even if Barca make the Champions League, don't make Champions League, we're still gonna have a party. So take that, fuck off.
Beautiful, Ben. We're beating Liverpool tomorrow. What are you going to beat by? Who's scoring? And make sure to give him a good laugh.
We're gonna win 3-0, I think, tomorrow, man. I'm gonna go for a 3-0 as well. Eddie's gonna get on the score sheet, and I think Marcus as well. Marcus will score against Liverpool, so can't deny Marcus another Liverpool goal. So Marcus and I want to say Luke Shaw, man. I don't know why I want to say Luke Shaw again, but the guy's on fire. So Luke Shaw. I would do a laugh, but I want to embarrass myself. But the biggest laugh will come from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when Jurgen Klopp's in tears on the sideline after the full-time whistle's blown. Ole's going, Ole's at the wheel.
That's a great laugh. That's a great laugh, to be fair. Rommel says Mason about berries, absolutely. And Stuart's making friends. Go on, Stuart. Callum, for you, we're going to beat them. What are we going to beat them by? Who's scoring? And give them a laugh.
I reckon it'll be 2-0. I think Cavani will probably score twice. Just on a quick side note, Stu, I've just actually YouTubed that lob. It was frigging good, wasn't it? To be fair,
amazing, absolutely amazing, wasn't
it? Fair play, cracking goal, really, wasn't it? I think we'll win 2-0. It would be lovely to genuinely stop their top 4 hopes. I think Leicester or Chelsea, I think they're 5 points clear of 5th at the moment. Their game in hand is against us tomorrow night. So if we could hold that, it would be brilliant. And I genuinely think if we see them in the Conference League in the first season that he's on, would be really laughable. Yeah, it's always fun to laugh. It's always fun to laugh at Liverpool, isn't it? I mean, unfortunately, they had a great season last year, but considering the greatest team in the history of the Premier League, and now they need Solskjaer to beat Leicester. I mean, it's frigging laughable, and it shows everything wrong with everything about that club. I don't laugh a lot, Joe.
I know you don't. That's why we need this laugh.
It's pretty laughable. So we'll go with a 2-0 Cavani brace, and I'll be watching it with a beer.
Okay. Haha, I laughed for you. Stuart, coming to you now to see us out. What are we beating them by? Who's scoring? And give us a big dad belly laugh.
Yes, I actually I think we'll win 2-0 as well, to be fair, and I think Cavani will probably get a brace. It's for me, it's just absolutely amazing to see what's happening this season, and I can't wait to see Klopp's beaming smile just fucking fall off his face, and then to watch his glasses drop off his face when he dips his head and starts crying like a baby. It's going to be so much fun. And to be honest, watching Jordan Henderson crying, Virgil van Dijk will be there fucking bawling his eyes out. I fucking hate Mo Salah. I can't wait to see him fuck off into the European Conference League. Absolutely brilliant. And as for watching Carragher cry, if Neville and Carragher are in the studio tomorrow night and they don't make Champions League, that is going to be gold. Absolutely gold. So I'll finish off with a bit of a belly laugh. And I'll tell you what's made me laugh so more. It's Connor's shirt. I love that, Connor. It's just the best, mate.
You mean what, this one or which?
Your first Man United shirt.
Oh, in the background of Ben's.
Yeah. I've still been giggling about that for ages, old friend.
So brilliant, guys.
Do you know what, though, as well? Can I just say?
Go for it.
Like we got all this backlash for resting our players on Tuesday. If Liverpool do go in this Conference League, they will rest all their players on every game of that. And I bet they don't get any backlash.
Absolutely.
They'll be the same competition as Arsenal at the moment. Who knows?
Lads, I'm quite tired. I'm going to bed. Also, we never covered the fact that Antonio Valencia retired from football today. So I think we will
Jeff, Joe.
Jeff, Joe. Okay. Jeff. Antonio Valencia retired today. Why do you hate him?
No, ask him about the Liverpool game, you clown.
I already did. He was the first person.
Everyone's getting confused because I got
It's all there. That's fine. Sorry.
Top professionalism as always, buddies.
Joe, can I just say one thing?
Go for it, too. Go for it,
Can I just say one thing? I think we should pay a bit of tribute to the Awful United Women's Channel, because I watched it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, that was outstanding. Everybody in our chat, if you get a chance to watch it, go and watch it, because she was absolutely outstanding today. And I thought, I've never, you can see pain in people's eyes and you wonder whether it's genuine, but Nat, bless her, was absolutely gutted. And I know Ben is as well, because, they're going, they support the club. And I didn't know, for one, and I'm feeling a bit guilty, actually, as a fan of Manchester United. I didn't realise our women's team were treated so shabbily. And it's scandalous, really. So,
sorry, Stu, I wanted to say something as well, but it's more in the lines of sympathy for those who are like Ben, Natalie, and co, who have supported the women for so long. And the fact this season, Manchester United's women so were top of the league for so long and were on course to possibly make it into the Women's Champions League for next season in their first seasons as a serious contender in the WSL. That could have been fantastic, but once you look deeper into the story, you start reading about the training facility situation, the fact that not supported by the higher ups, the unnamables, as I like to say, for strengthening the team, much the same as Ollie's been asking for the men's team. You kind of start to see the problems manifesting itself in a much more wider scale. And I sympathise for them too. One night ago, we played, I think, in a semi-final of the Conti Cup, which is the League Cup equivalent for women's football, against Arsenal 2 years ago in our first season playing. And we lost 2-1, but the girls who played that night put their heart and everything out on that pitch, coming up short. And it showed what Casey Stoney could do, as she epitomised, like Solskjaer does, the United way of playing. For her to have left the club today is a really sad thing, and I hope that it brings some, brings some solace that we all cared deeply for her. She was still a part of our club, even though many of us who do support Man United didn't even know she was the manager, which is stunning for me. But I'm sympathetic to all the fans too. So. Yeah, hopefully it's better
as well on Casey.
Absolutely, Ben. Yeah,
as part of the main cluster of contributors to the women's channel, and also I host my own Saturday night show as well on Twitter. Which Stu, thank you for tuning in on Saturdays, which you sometimes do, pal. I appreciate that. But to say also about Casey Stoney though is hit Natalie especially like a ton of bricks, because this is a manager, that took the very ethos of Manchester United and she embraced it. She's like exactly like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, exactly like Sir Alex Ferguson, exactly like Sir Busby. She understood the football club, and the way that she was starting to build a side from scratch. She had to build we call it the OG 21 from scratch. So a lot of these are players we brought back from our youth team, if you will, our development sides, but which had to go elsewhere to play football. We brought them back in, and we won the women's championship on our very first season to get promoted to the WSL, the top league. And listen, we've done so well in the cup competition, especially the Conti Cup over the past couple of seasons. This season, not so great. We got knocked out in the first stage in the group stages, but we've had a fantastic ride, mate. But I'd just like to, I know she won't be watching, but I'd just like to thank her from the bottom of my heart, because she honestly, I thought she would be here for a decade, building her own legacy. She had a 5-year plan, and to leave 3 years into that 5-year plan to get Champions League football, it's just a bit gutting. And if anyone gets a chance to rewatch it back on this very channel, the women's show from earlier on, just to see it from Natalie's point of view, she puts it much better than I can explain it. She has her heart and soul devoted to that football club, and devoted to the women's side and to Casey Stoney, and it's hit us all like a ton of bricks. So if you could give that a watch once this show's finished, if you haven't seen it already, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
Well said, Ben.
Yeah, I think brilliantly said, Ben. I think we'll close on. Yes, Callum.
Joe, can I just finish on one point? Obviously, I'm sure everyone here at All for United would agree, but huge condolences to the young lad that was struck by lightning in Blackpool yesterday. Like, huge condolences to the family, because that was really tragic, heartbreaking news that I read. Thoughts and prayers to the family, and I know it's a really tragic moment and event, but we're all thinking of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well said,
Callum. I think we'll close it there tonight, guys. Thank you all so much. Make sure to follow what Ben and Stu were saying. Everyone was saying about checking out the women's show from today. I got to touch in for a moment, and it was really, really tough, but really educational. So everyone needs to check that out. And our thoughts are with well said, Callum. John said that there with the young lad who passed away, unfortunately. Very, very sad. But wherever you're watching, thanks so much for checking us out, and we'll see you all here next time. And we'll see you when we're 3 points heavier.